You think you matter more than you actually do, and this delusion is destroying your life in ways you cannot even see. Every day you wake up believing your girlfriend needs you, your boss values you, and your friends would miss you if you disappeared. But the brutal reality is that you could be replaced tomorrow, and life would continue without skipping a beat. Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher who predicted the collapse of traditional values over a century ago, understood something about human nature that most men refuse to accept. Everyone is replaceable until they choose to become irreplaceable. What you are about to discover will shatter your comfortable illusions and reveal why you have been failing in relationships, career, and life without understanding the real reasons behind your struggles. You wake up every morning believing you matter more than you actually do. Your girlfriend tells you she loves you. Your boss praises your work. Your friends laugh at your jokes. This creates a dangerous illusion that you are somehow special or irreplaceable in their lives. Nietzsche understood that most people live in this comfortable delusion, never realizing how quickly they can be forgotten or replaced. The harsh reality is that everyone around you is constantly evaluating whether you add value to their existence. Modern society feeds this illusion through participation trophies, social media validation, and the myth that everyone is unique and special. Your workplace convinces you that you are essential, while simultaneously having contingency plans for your departure. Your romantic partner may claim undying love, while keeping options open in the back of their mind. Nietzsche called this the weakness of those who need constant reassurance and external validation to feel worthy. The moment you stop providing value or become inconvenient, your replaceability becomes crystal clear. The most painful awakening comes when you discover how easily life continues without you after a breakup, job loss, or social exile. Your ex-girlfriend moves on faster than you expected. Your former colleagues barely remember your name. Your friend group adapts seamlessly to your absence. This is not cruelty. This is nature operating according to its fundamental laws of survival and self-interest. Nietzsche warned that those who do not understand this basic truth will spend their lives as victims of their own naive expectations. You follow the same patterns as everyone else and wonder why you blend into the background. When you dress like everyone else, think like everyone else, and pursue the same goals as everyone else, you become part of what Nietzsche called the herd. The herd provides comfort and safety, but guarantees your replaceability because you offer nothing unique or distinctive. Every opinion you hold has been pre-approved by the masses. Every choice you make follows the well-worn path of mediocrity. Women are attracted to men who stand apart from the crowd, not those who desperately seek approval from it. When you base your decisions on what others think or what society expects, you surrender your individual power and become just another face in the crowd. Nietzsche despised this mentality because it reduces human beings to cattle, following each other toward the same predictable destinations: your job, your relationship style, your hobbies, your values. If they all mirror what everyone else is doing, you have made yourself expendable. The herd mentality creates a false sense of security while actually making you more vulnerable to replacement. Companies prefer interchangeable employees who follow protocols without question. Dating apps are filled with identical profiles offering the same generic experiences. Breaking free from herd thinking means accepting that you will face criticism, rejection, and isolation from those who remain trapped in collective mediocrity. Nietzsche understood that true strength comes from the courage to be genuinely different, even when it makes others uncomfortable. Every relationship is a constant struggle for dominance, whether you acknowledge it or not. Nietzsche's concept of will to power reveals that all human interactions involve an unconscious battle to determine who holds more influence and control. When you consistently yield, apologize, and accommodate without reciprocation, you signal weakness that invites replacement. Women instinctively test men to see if they possess genuine strength or if they crumble under pressure. The moment you fail these tests repeatedly, you become dispensable. Power in relationships is not about aggression or manipulation. It is about maintaining your frame and refusing to compromise your core values for temporary peace. When you change your opinions to match hers, cancel your plans whenever she calls, or constantly seek her approval for your decisions, you demonstrate that you lack internal strength. Nietzsche understood that respect flows toward those who respect themselves first. A man without boundaries becomes a doormat, and doormats get replaced when someone more exciting comes along. The will to power manifests as the ability to walk away when necessary, to say no without guilt, and to pursue your goals regardless of external pressure. This does not mean being cruel or selfish. It means recognizing your own worth and refusing to accept treatment that diminishes it. Men who understand this principle create attraction through strength rather than desperation. They become irreplaceable not because they are perfect, but because they refuse to be taken for granted. Your moral framework determines whether you attract or repel quality partners. Nietzsche distinguished between master morality, which creates values based on strength and excellence, and slave morality, which defines itself through resentment and victimhood. In dating, slave morality manifests as constantly complaining about women, blaming society for your failures, and expecting rewards simply for being a nice guy. This mindset makes you instantly replaceable because it signals weakness and emotional instability. Master morality in relationships means taking responsibility for your outcomes and creating your own standards of excellence instead of resenting successful men or attractive women. You focus on becoming worthy of what you desire. You do not seek validation through self-pity or expect others to lower their standards to accommodate your insecurities. Nietzsche saw that strong individuals create their own values, rather than adopting the bitter worldview of those who have given up on self-improvement. Women unconsciously recognize the difference between these two moral frameworks and gravitate toward men who embody master morality. A man with slave morality expects the world to owe him something. A man with master morality earns what he receives through merit and effort. The former becomes replaceable because his value depends on external circumstances. The latter becomes irreplaceable because his worth comes from internal strength and achievement. Your moral foundation determines whether you build attraction or destroy it before you even speak. Most men live their entire lives as copies of other men, never discovering who they truly are beneath society's expectations. Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch represents the individual who creates himself through conscious choice, rather than unconscious imitation. This is not about becoming superhuman. It is about becoming authentically human by rejecting the predetermined scripts that others have written for your life. When you live according to your own values and vision, you become irreplaceable because no one else can replicate your unique combination of experiences and choices. The Übermensch mindset requires you to question everything you have been taught about success, relationships, and happiness, instead of following the standard path of college, career, marriage, and retirement. You examine whether these goals align with your genuine desires or merely represent social programming. This process is uncomfortable because it forces you to take full responsibility for your choices without blaming parents, society, or circumstances. Nietzsche understood that most people prefer the comfort of conformity to the burden of self-creation. Developing this mindset makes you irreplaceable in relationships because you offer something that cannot be found elsewhere, an authentic individual who knows himself and lives according to his own principles. Women encounter countless men who are variations of the same theme, but rarely meet someone who has done the difficult work of becoming genuinely unique. The Übermensch does not seek to impress others. He seeks to express his true nature, which naturally attracts those who recognize authentic strength. Imagine living your exact same life infinite times with every mistake, embarrassment, and failure repeated forever. Nietzsche's concept of eternal recurrence serves as the ultimate test of whether you are living authentically or merely existing as a placeholder in someone else's story. If the thought of repeating your current relationship patterns, career choices, and daily habits fills you with dread, you are living a replaceable life. Men who cannot face this test honestly remain trapped in cycles of mediocrity that make them easily forgotten. Most people live as if they have unlimited chances to get things right, postponing difficult decisions and avoiding uncomfortable truths about their relationships and goals. The eternal recurrence test forces you to confront whether your current path reflects genuine choice or passive drift. Would you choose the same partner again knowing everything you know now? Would you pursue the same career? Would you maintain the same friendships and habits? If your honest answer is no, you are wasting the only life you have on experiences unworthy of repetition. Living as if each choice echoes through eternity transforms how you approach relationships and personal development. You stop tolerating disrespectful treatment because you refuse to experience it infinitely. You pursue goals that genuinely matter rather than those that merely look impressive to others. This mindset creates urgency and intentionality that makes you irreplaceable because few people live with such conscious purpose. The man who embraces eternal recurrence becomes unforgettable because he lives each moment as if it defines him forever. The old rules that once gave men clear paths to respect and security have crumbled, leaving everyone scrambling to figure out what actually matters. Traditional marriage, lifelong careers, and established social hierarchies no longer provide the stability they once promised. Nietzsche predicted this collapse of inherited value systems, understanding that when old certainties disappear, most people become lost and easily replaceable because they lack the strength to create new meaning. The frameworks that once made men valuable in relationships and society have vanished without clear replacements. This collapse creates both danger and opportunity for the modern man. The danger lies in clinging to outdated strategies that no longer work, pursuing traditional markers of success while ignoring how the game has fundamentally changed. Many men still believe that simply having a job, being nice, and following social protocols will guarantee respect and attraction. Meanwhile, the opportunity exists for those who recognize that the absence of fixed rules means you can write your own. Nietzsche saw this transition as liberation for those brave enough to embrace it. Without traditional anchors, your value must come from something deeper than external validation or inherited status. You cannot rely on your job title, family, background, or social position to make you irreplaceable because these foundations have proven unreliable. Instead, you must develop internal qualities that transcend changing circumstances: genuine confidence, clear purpose, emotional strength, and the ability to create meaning in an uncertain world. The men who adapt to this new reality become irreplaceable. Those who resist it become relics. Love your fate, including the brutal reality that you can be replaced at any moment by someone better. Nietzsche's concept of amor fati demands that you embrace every aspect of existence, even the parts that wound your ego and shatter your illusions. Most men spend enormous energy fighting against the natural order of attraction, competition, and selection that governs human relationships. This resistance weakens them because they waste strength denying reality instead of adapting to it. Accepting your replaceability paradoxically makes you stronger and more attractive. The hardest truth to accept is that your girlfriend, employer, and friends are constantly evaluating whether you add sufficient value to their lives. This evaluation never stops. It intensifies during stress, conflict, and when better options appear. Fighting this reality through jealousy, neediness, or demands for loyalty only accelerates your replacement because it reveals weakness and entitlement. Nietzsche understood that suffering comes not from circumstances themselves, but from our resistance to accepting them as natural and inevitable. When you truly embrace amor fati regarding your replaceability, you stop acting from desperation and start acting from strength. You improve yourself because you love the process, not because you fear abandonment. You treat others well because you choose to, not because you need their validation. This shift from fear-based to love-based motivation transforms your entire presence and makes you genuinely irreplaceable. The man who accepts hard truths with grace becomes someone others cannot easily forget or replace. You become replaceable the moment you adopt someone else's definition of what makes you valuable. Society tells you to be successful, nice, and agreeable. Women tell you to be sensitive, understanding, and supportive. Your friends tell you to be fun, loyal, and available. Following these external prescriptions transforms you into a generic version of what others want rather than a unique individual with your own standards. Nietzsche recognized that true strength comes from creating your own moral framework, instead of borrowing pre-made values from others who may not have your best interests at heart. Most men never question whether the values they follow actually serve them or simply make them easier to control and predict. You chase money because society says it matters. But is financial success your genuine priority or just social programming? You avoid conflict because you were taught it is wrong. But does this belief help you or harm you in relationships and career advancement? Creating your own values requires the courage to examine every assumption you hold and keep only those that align with your authentic nature and goals. When you operate from self-created values, you become irreplaceable because no one else shares your exact combination of principles and priorities. You stop being an interchangeable part in someone else's system and become a unique force that cannot be easily replicated or replaced. This does not mean becoming selfish or ignoring others. It means ensuring that your core decisions flow from internal conviction rather than external pressure. You become irreplaceable when you develop the capacity to be genuinely dangerous to those who would take advantage of you. Nietzsche understood that danger does not mean violence or cruelty. It means possessing the strength and willingness to walk away, set boundaries, and pursue your goals regardless of opposition. A dangerous man cannot be manipulated through guilt, controlled through fear, or replaced through threats because he has alternatives and refuses to accept poor treatment. This inner strength creates a magnetic presence that others find both attractive and unsettling. The dangerous individual has developed skills, resources, and mental fortitude that make him independent of any single person or situation. He maintains his own finances, cultivates multiple interests, builds genuine friendships, and continuously improves his capabilities across various domains of life. When someone tries to leverage his weaknesses or dependencies against him, they discover he has systematically eliminated most vulnerabilities through preparation and self-development. This independence is not built from paranoia, but from wisdom about human nature and the temporary nature of all relationships. Most people prefer dealing with harmless individuals because they feel safer and more in control. Around them, however, they also respect and remember dangerous individuals because they represent strength and unpredictability in a world full of weakness and conformity. The dangerous man becomes irreplaceable not through force, but through demonstrated capability and unwillingness to compromise his core values. He creates attraction through strength while maintaining integrity through principled action. Nietzsche's warning about replaceability cuts deeper than most men realize, because it forces you to confront uncomfortable truths about your actual value in a world that constantly evaluates worth. You cannot build genuine attraction, respect, or success by following the same tired formulas that produce interchangeable results. You must forge your own path through conscious self-creation and unwavering commitment to your authentic nature. The men who embrace this challenge transform from forgettable placeholders into unforgettable forces of nature who leave lasting impressions wherever they go. Are you ready to stop being replaceable and start becoming irreplaceable? Or will you continue living as just another face in the crowd? If this video opened your eyes to hard truths you needed to hear, subscribe for more content that will challenge you to become the man you were meant to be.